Welcome to our channel ASV Gurukul. Namaste, I am Satya. Today we are going to see the 22nd chapter of Sai Leela, in which Baba rescues his devotees from serpent bites. Hemat Pan, the author, has also given the real life incidents of Bala Sahib Mirikar, Babu Sahib Bhuti, Amar Shakkar, also discussion of killing a serpent by Baba and Hemat Pan. Preliminary: how to meditate on Baba. No one has been able to fathom the nature or the form of Almighty. Even the Vedas and the thousand-tongued Shesha are not able to describe it fully. The devotees also cannot know, but only look at the form of the Lord, or they know that his feet are the only refuge. They know no other method of attaining the supreme goal of life except meditating on the holy feet. Hemat Pant suggests an easy way of devotion and meditation as follows. As the dark fortnight of every month wears out gradually, the moonlight also wanes in the same degree, and the new moon on the new moon day, we do not see the moon at all. Therefore, when the bright fortnight begins, people are very anxious to see the moon. On the first day, the moon is not seen. On the second day, she emerges in a thin crescent. Then the people are asked to see the moon through the openings between the two branches of a tree. When they begin to see through this aperture eagerly, the distant small crescent of the moon comes to their sight. Following this instance, let us see Baba's form. Look at Baba's posture, how fine it is. He is sitting with his legs folded, the right leg held across the left knee. The fingers of his left hand are spread on the right foot. On the toes are spread his two fingers, the index and the middle ones. By this posture, Baba seems to say, if you want to see my true form, be egoless, most humble, and meditate on my toe through the opening between the index and middle fingers, and then you will be able to see my light. Now let us turn to Baba's life. Shirdi had become a place of pilgrimage on account of Baba's stay there. People from all the quarters began to flock there, and both rich and poor began to benefit in more ways than one. Who can describe Baba's boundless love and his wonderful knowledge and his all pervasiveness? Blessed is he who could experience this. Sometimes Baba observed a long silence, which was, in a way, his dissertion of Brahma. At other times, he was pure consciousness, bliss incarnate, surrounded by his devotees. Sometimes he spoke in parables, and at times indulged in wit and humor. At times he was quite calm, and at times he seemed enraged. Sometimes he gave his teachings in a nutshell. At other times he argued at length. Many times he was very direct. In this way, he gave varied instructions to many according to their requirement. His life was therefore inscrutable beyond the ken of our mind, intellect, and speech. Our longing to see his face, to talk with him, and hear his leelas was never satisfied. Still, we were flowing with joy. We can gauge the showers of rain, capture the wind in a leather bag, but who can measure his leelas? Now we deal here with one aspect of them: how he anticipated or forestalled the calamities of his devotees and warned them in time. Bala Sahib Mirkar. Bala Sahib Mirkar, son of Sardar Kaka Sahib Mirkar, was Mamladar of Kopargaon. He was going on tour to Chitali. On the way, he came to Shirdi to see Sai Baba. When he went to the masjid and prostrated himself before Baba, the usual conversation regarding the health and other matters commenced. When Baba sounded a note of warning, "Do you know our Dwaraka Mai?" As Bala Sahib did not understand, he kept quiet. Baba continued, "This is our Dwaraka Mai. where you are sitting. She wards off all dangers and anxieties of the children who sit in her lap. This Masjid Mai, its presiding deity, is very merciful. She is the merciful mother of the simple devotees, whom she will save in the calamities. Once a person sits on her lap, all his troubles are over. He who rests in her shade gets bliss. Then Baba gave him Udi and placed him hand on his head. When Bala Sahib was about to depart, he again said, "Do you know the Lamba Baba? Long, gentle man, that is a serpent." And then, closing the left fist, he brought it under the right elbow and moving his left arm like the hook of a serpent said, "He is so terrible, but what can he do to the children of Dwarakamai? When the Dwarakamai protects, what can the serpent do?" All who were present there were curious to know the meaning of all this and its reference to Mirikar. Not but none had the courage to ask Baba about this. Then Bala Sahib saluted Baba and left Masjid with Shama. Baba called Shama back and asked him to accompany Bala Sahib and enjoy the Chitali trip. Shama came to Bala Sahib and told him that he would go with him, according to Baba's wish. Bala Sahib replied that he need not come, as it would be inconvenient for Shama. Returning to Baba, told him that Bala Sahib said to what he told to him. Baba said, "All right, do not go. He should mean well and do well. Whatever is destined to happen will happen." In the meanwhile, Bala Sahib thought it over again and calling Shama asked him to accompany him. Then Shama went on to Baba and asked for his permission. He left with Bala Sahib in the Tonga. They reached Chitali at 9 p.m. and encamped in Marathi temple. The office people had not yet come, so they sat in the temple, talking and chit chatting. Bala Sahib was sitting on a mat reading a newspaper. His uparani, that is, his upper dhoti, was spread across his waist, and on it a snake was sitting unnoticed. It began to move with a hissing sound, which was heard by the peon. He brought a lantern, saw the snake, and raised an alarm: "Serpent, serpent." Bala Sahib was frightened and began to quiver. Shama was also stunned. Then he and others moved quietly and the waist and moved away from Bala Sahib quietly and took the sticks and clubs in their hands. The snake slowly came down the waist and moved away from the Bala Sahib, and it was immediately done to death. Thus, this calamity, which was prophesied by Baba, was that is averted, and Bala Sahib's devotion in Baba was confirmed. Babu Sahib Bhuti, a great astrologer named Nana Sahib Dengele, told Babu Sahib Bhuti, who was then in Shirdi, "Today is an inauspicious day for you. There is danger to your life." This made Babu Sahib restless. When they, as usual, came to Masjid, Baba said to Babu Sahib, "What does this Nana say? He foretells death for you? Well, you need not be afraid. Tell him, let us see how death kills." Then later in the evening, Babu Sahib went to his privy for easing himself, where he saw a snake. His servant saw it and lifted a stone to strike it at. Babu Sahib asked him to get a big stick, but before the servant returned with the stick, the snake was seen moving away and soon disappeared. Babu Sahib remembered Baba's words of fearlessness. Amir Shakkar. Amir Shakkar was a native of the village Korhale in Kopargaon Taluk. He belonged to the Butcher caste. He worked as a commission agent in Bandra and was well known there. He once suffered from rheumatism, which gave him much pain. He then remembered Allah, left his business, and went to Shirdi and prayed to Baba to relieve him from his malady. Baba then stationed him in the Chavadi. The Chavadi was then a damp, unhealthy place, unfit for such a patient. Any other place in the village or Korhale itself would have been better for Amir. But Baba's word was command, the chief medicine. Baba did not allow him to come to the masjid, but fixed him in the Chavadi every morning and evening. Every alternative day, Baba went to the Chavadi in a procession and slept there, so Amir got Baba's contact. Very often, Amir stayed there for full 9 months and then he got a disgust for the place. So one night, he stealthily left the place and came to Kupargaon and stayed in Dharmashala. There he saw an old dying fakir who asked him for water. Amir brought it and gave it to him. As soon as he drank it, he passed away. Now Amir was in a fix. He thought that if he went and informed the authorities, he would be held responsible for the death, as he was the first and sole informant and knew something about it. He repented for his action, leaving Shirdi without Baba's permission and prayed to Baba. He then determined to return to Shirdi, and the same night he retreated, remembering and muttering Baba's name all the way, and reached Shirdi before daybreak and became free from anxiety. Then he lived in Chavadi in perfect accordance with Baba's wishes and orders and got himself cured. One night, it so happened that Baba cried at midnight, "Oh Abdul, some devilish creatures is dashing against the side of my bed." Abdul came with a lantern, examined Baba's bed, but found nothing. Baba asked him to examine carefully all the place and began to strike the ground with his satka. Seeing this Leela of Baba, Amir thought that Baba might have suspected some serpent there. Amir could know by close contact with Baba the meaning of his words and actions. Baba then saw near Amir's cushion something moving. He asked Abdul to bring in the light, and when he brought it, he saw the serpent coiled up there, moving its head up and down. Thereupon, the serpent was immediately beaten to death. This Baba gave timely warning and saved Amir's life. Hematpan, scorpion, and serpent. At Baba's recommendation, Kaka Sahib Dikshit was daily reading the two works of Sri Ekanath Maharaj, Bhagavat, Bhavarat Ramayan, and Hematpan had the good fortune to be one of the audience when reading of the works was going on. Once, when a portion from the Ramayan relating to Hanuman's testings Rama's greatness according to his mother's instruction was being read, all the listeners were spellbound. Hematpan, one of them, a big scorpion, jumped and sat on the right shoulder of Hemat Pant on his Uparani, that is the upper dhotar. First, it was not noticed, but as the Lord protects those who are intent on hearing his stories, he casually cast a glance over his right shoulder and noticed it. It was dead silent, not a bit moving here or there. It seemed as if it also enjoyed the reading. Then, by the Lord's grace, Hemad Pant, without disturbing the audience, took the two ends of his dhotar, folded them, and brought them together, enclosing the scorpion within. Then he went out and threw it in the garden. On the other occasion, that is another occasion, some persons were sitting in the upper floor of Kaka Sahib's Vada. just before nightfall, when a serpent crept through a hole in the window frame and sat coiled up. A light was brought, though it was first dazzled, yet it sat still and moved its head up and down. Then many persons rushed there with sticks and cudgels, but as it sat on in an awkward place, no blow could be dealt. But hearing the noises of the men, the serpent went out hastily through the small hole, or from the same place where it came. Then all the persons present there felt relieved. Baba's opinion. One devotee named Muktaram then said that it was good that the poor creature escaped. Hemat Pant challenged him, saying that serpents should better be killed. There was a hot discussion between them, the former contending that the serpents and such creatures should not be killed, the latter that they should be. As night came on, the discussion came to an end without any decision being arrived at. Next day, the question was referred to Baba, who gave his settled opinion as follows: God lives in all beings and creatures, whether they are serpents or scorpions. He is great wire puller of the world and all beings. Serpents, scorpions, etc., obey his command. Unless he wills it, nobody can do any harm to others. The world is all dependent on him, and no one is independent. So we should take pity and love to all creatures, live off killing, and be patient. The Lord God is the protector of all. Sainath Maharaj ki Jai.